The mist hung heavy over the lake that morning, a quiet so thick you could almost hear your own heartbeat. I was just out for my usual run, trying to outpace the exhaustion that had become my shadow. Being a single dad, a CEO, it all blurs into one long day after another. But that morning, something broke the silence, small and hesitant. When I saw her, standing knee-deep in the water, a wave of confusion hit me. She was hugging herself tightly, her face a mix of shock and embarrassment. "The water," she whispered, her voice barely carrying over the gentle lapping of the lake. "It took my clothes." I don't know what to do. Everything in me froze for a second. Then instinct took over. I didn't think, I just acted. I slipped off my jacket, walked towards her without looking directly, and held it out. Turning my back, I gave her the privacy she needed. In that single, quiet moment, I felt a strange pull, a sense that this wasn't just a random encounter. She wasn't just some stranger in the water. The awkwardness that followed was almost comical. Her stammered thank yous, my fumbled assurances that it was no problem. I offered her a ride back to my cabin, no questions asked. There was a vulnerability in her eyes that disarmed me completely. Back at the cabin, wrapped in one of my old, oversized sweaters and sipping hot tea, she slowly began to relax. A small smile touched her lips when my daughter, Maya, peeked around the doorframe, her eyes wide with curiosity. It was in those quiet moments, the shared smiles and the comfortable silence, that something began to shift. A connection started to form, fragile but real. She told me she was between jobs, a little lost. I found myself opening up in a way I hadn't in years, telling her I was just a single dad trying to keep my head above water. We were just two people, stripped of our titles and responsibilities, finding a moment of peace by the lake. We met again a few days later, a chance encounter that felt anything but. The awkwardness was gone, replaced by easy laughter and long conversations that stretched into the afternoon. She had this incredible way of seeing the world, a lightness that I hadn't realized I was missing in my own life. She played with Maya, building sandcastles and telling her stories about magical creatures in the lake. For the first time in a long time, my world felt whole. I was falling for the woman from the lake, the one who was a little lost, but it somehow helped me find a part of myself I thought was gone forever. Then came the city, the lights, the noise. I was at a corporate gala, a world away from the tranquility of the lake. I was shaking hands, making small talk, playing the part of the successful CEO. And then I saw her. She was on stage, under the spotlight, poised and powerful. The announcer's voice boomed through the hall, introducing her as the renowned head of a major tech firm. My rival, in fact. The world tilted. The woman I knew, the one who was between jobs, was a lie. The connection we had, the trust I'd given, it all felt like a carefully constructed illusion. The warmth I'd felt was replaced by a cold sting of betrayal. I walked out without a word, the applause for her ringing in my ears like a taunt. I went back to the one place that felt real, the lake. I needed the silence, the familiar mist, the reflection of the sky on the water. I needed to understand how I could have been so wrong. And then she was there. She found me standing by the shore where we first met. The power suit was gone, replaced by simple clothes. The confidence she wore on stage was replaced by the same vulnerability I saw that first morning. "I didn't mean to hide who I was," she said, her voice soft, full of an emotion I couldn't quite name. "I was just so tired of people wanting something, of being judged for what I have. I just wanted someone to help, without knowing who I was." I looked at her then, really looked at her. The businesswoman on the stage, the woman shivering in the lake, the woman laughing with my daughter. They were all the same person. And in that moment, the anger and betrayal melted away, replaced by a profound understanding. "Didn't lose your clothes that day," I said, the words feeling more true than anything I'd ever said. You found your truth. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow across the water, she stepped closer. Maya, who had followed her out, ran to us and took both our hands. And there we were, 3 silhouettes against the fading light. It wasn't just a chance encounter. Some meetings, you realize, are written by fate. Thanks for watching. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one.